At Yale, the greatest economists in Yale's history were actually very interested in finance. Maybe they were financial economists to begin with. So the greatest Yale economist of the first half of the 20th century was Irving Fisher. You hear a lot about. He wrote possibly the first economics PhD. No economist. And the latest PhD with Gibbs, maybe the greatest American physicist of the time, is proving, as you know, on Science Hill, named after Gibbs. And you'll hear more about his dissertation in the 1890s. But he was a mathematical economist, an econometrician, but he invented almost all of his economics in order to study finance. The most famous Yale economist of the second half of the 20th century was James Hovind, a famous macroeconomist. The most famous macroeconomist possibly of the second half of the 20th century after Keynes, the great Keynesian. But he got the Nobel Prize for work he did on finance and economics. Finance was incredibly interesting to him. So Bob Shore and I went to Yale, and he basically said to the deans, there's a long tradition of finance and economics hand in hand at Yale, and so it's not a vocational subject, it's actually central to economics, and central to understanding the economy, and central to understanding the global economy. So we'd like to teach it to Yale undergraduates, and we believe a few of them will actually take the course. And so they agreed to let us do it, and so we've been teaching it now for the last 10 years. So as you know, Shiller has been very critical of the business efficient markets tradition. He feels that these finance professors left something essential out of the whole story. What they left out was psychology. They left out the idea of fads and rumors and narratives, which he thinks has big effect on prices as the hard information about profits that the business school professors imagine drove profits. I myself have been quite critical of financial theory. I started off as a straight, pure mathematical economist. To me, economics is almost a branch of logic and philosophy that happened to tell you something about the world. So I got my PhD with Ken Arrow, you'll hear a lot about very shortly, and I came to Yale. I did Yale undergrad, so I came back to Yale, and I joined the Coles Foundation. The Coles Foundation's motto was basically, can we make economics more mathematical? Economics is supposed to be amenable to mathematical analysis, just like physics or chemistry is. And people didn't believe this at first, and the Coles Foundation, which you'll hear a lot about in these lectures, led the revolution in economics, transforming it from a political subject, political economy, to a mathematical subject. Now, I decided around 1989 that since I did mathematical economics, and there were all these finance people doing all kinds of mathematical things on Wall Street, and doing it very successfully, I thought I might just check out what they were doing. So it might be fun to see what they were up to. So I went to Wall Street, and I joined, most people I knew, in fact, Professor Lee went to Goldman Sachs. There was a famous finance professor I mentioned before, named Fisher Black, who was there at the time, and he attracted a lot of people, and so that was the traditional thing to do. I decided to go to a lawyer firm called Peter Peabody, and one thing, it was the seventh biggest investment bank at the time, and one thing led to another. They decided that they wanted to reorganize their research department in fixed income. And since I was a professor there, and I did mathematical economics, I was there for the whole year. Somebody said, the director of fixed income department said, why don't you take charge of it and hire a new fixed income research department for me? So I did, and ultimately there were 75 people in the department. All the time I was a professor at Yale, and after 5 years, Peter Peabody, even though I was 135 years old, formed by a famous family, the name should sound Peabody familiar to you, it closed down after 135 years, 5 years after I got there. I had to invite the 75 people I hired into my office and say, you're fired. And then I went next door, the office next to mine, and the guy there said, you're fired. And so that was my first taste of Wall Street. And after that, 6 of us founded a hedge fund called Ellington Capital Management, which is a mortgage hedge fund. And we had, I'll tell you a lot about it. It started after the Kidder closing as a rather small hedge fund, but it grew into a very big mortgage hedge fund. In fact, the biggest mortgage hedge fund in the country, although recently found out that everybody trades mortgages is basically a hedge fund. Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac are all basically hedge funds, so it doesn't mean anything anymore to say that you're a big mortgage hedge fund. But anyway, we almost went out of business in 98. That's such a story. I'll tell you a great thing. And then we just suffered through this disastrous last year or two. But we're still here. So these experiences, of course, have colored my understanding of Wall Street and my approach to the subject. So I took on in my theoretical work finance and economic theory on its own terms. I didn't think like Shiller introduced psychology to economics. I just take it on its own terms, on its own mathematical terms. And what I found was that there are two things missing in the standard theory. One is that it basically implicitly assumes you can buy insurance for everything. So the assumption is called complete markets. And secondly, it leaves out collateral entirely. So you'll never see, almost in any single economics textbook, the idea of collateral or leverage. And those, I think, if you can't get insurance for everything, and that you need collateral, and you have to be able to convince somebody you're going to pay back or money, collateral is the most way of persuading you to pay back the lender. Those two things are missing from the standard theory. So I built a theory around incomplete markets and leverage, which is a critique of the standard theory. So in a way, Shiller and I have been vindicated by the crash. I mean, so let me just show you a picture here. Maybe I will let you know how bad the crash was. So let's look at the Dow Jones. The Dow Jones is an average of 30 stocks, and what their value is. We'll talk more about it later. But here it is back to 1913, moving along, reasonably going up and up and up. There are a few lifts, which we'll come to later, like this one, okay, 1929. And then look what happened. Look at that. The Dow Jones was up at 14,000 and dropped to 6,500, something like that. And more than a 50% drop, and now it's down 50% up again. So if you believe these finance professors, you have to say that everybody realized that future profits in America were going to be less than half what they thought they were going to be before, and that's why the stock market dropped. And then miraculously, when it hit a bottom, everybody figured, oh my gosh, we misunderstood things. Actually, it's not nearly that bad, and things are 50% higher because now people think that profits really weren't going to go. It didn't drop at half, it didn't drop by 50%, it only dropped by 25%. And that was the only way, according to the old theory, to explain what happened. Now, Shiller was just saying, well, everybody's, they're crazy. They got this into their head that the world was just going to be great, and then, some rumors started, and things were so high, and people think the narrative changed, they thought things were terrible, and that's the story. I'm not sure how to get it to go up again. They changed their mind again. But, okay, so, all right, now, by the way, it's a little bit better to look at the Dow correcting for inflation. And then you see that, the 1929 crash, this is on a large scale. So the same as, went over before, the depression, the stock market was so low, it's grown so much over 100 years that it hardly seemed like anything was happening. Well, now on a large scale, going up 2 of these is multiplied by 10. You see that in the depression in 1929 to the early 30s, the stock market fell. I don't remember what it is. It looks like it's almost 2 things. It looks like it's 80 or 90%. And the fall this time has been, much smaller, 50%, not 90%. So it's a whole thing down, but not two things down. Okay, so it's not holding down less than that. Holding down the square root of 10, or a third, didn't go down 2/3, it went down less than 2/3, it went down 50%. So the actual percentage drop was much worse in the depression than it is now. Okay, but now we're going to come back to all these things. What else can you get out of these numbers? I just want you to notice a couple other things. Suppose you look, so these numbers are all very interesting. They're mathematical, these are the sorts of things you pay attention to. So these efficient markets guys, they look at the change in price every month. So there's a lot to say for their theory. They say, look, it goes up and down randomly. In fact, we'll see that there are all kinds of tests about whether you can predict it's going to go up tomorrow on the basis of how it did yesterday. And the answer is no. It's very difficult to predict whether the stock market's going up or down. It seems to be random. Well, it's random. And I used to think it was normally distributed. A lot of people argue it's normally distributed, but it's hard. You never get these gigantic outliers if things are normally distributed. There's just way too unlikely to happen. So Mandelbrot, who was a Yale professor, who retired a couple years ago, who wasn't when he formed his theory, he invented fractals. He said this couldn't possibly be a random walk in the traditional Brownian motion sensor because you never get these big outliers. So you offer no explanation for why they might be there. And, I don't show it as an explanation either. That people sort of get shocked one day, and the next week they change their mind, and things aren't so bad after all. Of course, you'll see that the theory of collateral and margins does explain these kinds of things. Okay, now, let's just look at the Dow. Not just look at the Dow, let's look at another, the S&P 500. Okay, so, where's the S&P 500? Sorry. Okay, here we go. Here's the S&P 500 data. Okay, so here's the history of the S&P 500. It was very similar to the Dow, and now except we have longer history, back to 1871. So I just want to point out one more thing in the S&P 500. So this is an average of 500 stocks, not just 30, but it's more or less the same. But let's look at the same thing, taking the logarithm and check for inflation. Okay, so you see here that there are these four things seem low in 1871, they go up and they go down. Then you got another up and a down. Then you got another up and a down. You got another up and a down. 4 times the same thing has happened. So this could be just meaningless accidents. But it will turn out that the demography of the country, the baby boom cycle, we haven't had just one baby boom, we've had 4 of them. So this cycle of stock prices happens to, over each time, a generation long, happens to correspond exactly to the rise of the different age distribution of the population. So another theory of the stock market, which wouldn't have been entertained by these original financial theorists, is that demography has something to do with the stock market. Not information about profits and returns, but the distribution of ages of the population. So I'm not saying this theory is correct, although I was one of the proponents of it, but it shows that there's room, I think, in economics, in finance, for economic things, for demography to matter, for leverage to matter, and not just for expectations about future profits. So let me show you another picture. So this is a second way in which Shiller became famous. He said, well, look at housing prices, the Case-Shiller Housing Index. So it's also famous because he had the idea of collecting housing prices. So, it's quite amazing. Every town has to record, by law, you have to record in the town directory and often on the internet what the price is of every sale of every house. So everybody has it. It's all publicly available on the internet. And most of it is publicly available on the internet. And nobody thought to gather all this information together and take the average and write down an index. Okay, until Shiller did it. So here's the Shiller Index. It's so good. All right. So you can see that housing prices were pretty stable, throughout the 80s, and then around 2000, they started taking off. So this is when the stock market was taking off too. So Shiller says this was irrational exuberance. People just went crazy. They now think things can never go down. They're just going to keep going up, and they keep buying, and they think things are going to go up, and it's crazy, and things are going to, psychology eventually people are going to, a new narrative is going to start. Somebody's going to say, oh, they've been going up so long, it can't continue to go up, things have to go down. Okay, and things went down. Now, I think there's something in psychology, so there's something missing in the original finance story. The finance guys, by the way, they would say, well, the rise is not so surprising. Look at the mortgage rates. Look at the interest rate you have to pay to get a mortgage. There's been an incredible decline in mortgage rates over the years. So it's easier, it's less costly to buy housing. You take the present value of your expenditures on buying, you have to pay less. So that's why, they can pay over a long period of time, and so the interest rate is less, and so the value of the house is worth more, because you're discounting your future benefits at a lower rate, because they're all about discounting later. So there's no history. On the other hand, they don't have nothing happened to interest rates. They kept getting lower, so there's no reason why the market should have crashed. So again, this seems like an indication for sure. Now, it also, in a way, is an indication for my theory, which is non-psychological. So I'm distrustful of a little bit of psychology, because it's anything, I'll write it's important. So my theory is, if when you take a loan, you have to negotiate 2 things: the interest rate and how much collateral you put up. Who's going to trust you to pay back? When you buy a house, they say you can't just borrow the whole value of the house. They say, well, make the down payment of 20%, borrow 80% of the value of the house. Okay, and so what I say is that instead of paying all your attention to the interest rate, think about the collateral rate. Why is it 20% that you have to put down? Maybe it should be 10% or 40%. Well, in fact, that number changes all the time. So here what I've done is looking at the pink line from 2000 to the future. That pink line is Shiller's housing index inverted. So you notice the scale on the right is the housing prices, but I've inverted it. Okay, and on the left, I have the down payment percentage. So it starts at 14. These are not for, these are non-agency loans, so I'm not going to explain it. Come back to that later. I'm not going to explain exactly how I got it. And you can see that from 2000 onward, the down payment people were asked to buy their house. It got lower and lower and lower and lower, and it got down to 3%. You could put down 3% of the value of the house and borrow the other 97% of the value of the house to buy it. So amazingly, the prices go down just with the leverage. So why is it called leverage? Because the amount of the cash you put down payment, say 10%, you can lever it up and own an asset that's worth 100. Even when you put down $10, you leverage 10 to 1. If you put down $3, you can leverage it, and you get a $100 house, you leverage it 30 to 1, 33 to 1. So that's why it's called leverage. So anyway, the point is that leverage went way up. The margins kept going down and down and down, and just at the peak of the housing cycle, so the bottom of that curve, that's when collateral started getting tougher, and people started asking for more money down again. And sure enough, the prices turned around. So if you look at the price of the mortgages, again, the inverse on the right, and you look at the margins on the left, not for buying houses, but for buying securities. I don't have time to explain the whole graph, but the blue line is for buying securities. So 98 is a big crisis, the margins spike up. I don't have pricing data back till then, that's the blue line. And now from 2007 to 2009, you see the margins spiking up. So to buy a toxic mortgage security, people who, investors don't pay cash, they borrow part of the money to buy it. They used to put down only 5% to buy it, now they have to put down 70% to buy it on average. Well, what happened to prices? Prices, the universal prices in 2007, they started to collapse. Okay, so this is going up, these prices are collapsing. So once again, the margins, tougher margins means lower prices. Because the margins came down recently, the prices have gone up recently. So it's an alternative theory. So, all right, so what, all right, so what's, well, so it doesn't mean that the standard financial theory is wrong. After all, I helped run a hedge fund. 60 of us founded it, and we've been in business for 15 years. We must believe in standard financial theory because that's how we've been making a lot of our money. And we exploit all those algorithms and those are the things I'm going to teach you. So I certainly believe it. And it's very important to teach you that again today. But there's more, there's more to the theory than just that. So let me show you the Dow. I want to show you one more thing in the Dow Jones or the S&P that we got to mention. And where is this? Oh, I can get it out of that. Let's try Dow. Okay, so Dow. Hey, where was the peak of the Dow? It was right over here. Now, what was the date? The date's supposed to flash here. Okay, so it's October 1st, 2007. Okay, now, so that's when people started to realize something was wrong with the world and things headed down. Okay, now, but if you look at, and until then, nothing bad seemed to be happening in the world. But suppose that you looked not at the Dow, suppose you looked, sorry. Okay, here's a graph. Suppose you looked at the subprime mortgage index. You see it's 100. You'll understand what these things are. So 100 means nobody thinks there's going to be a default. Over here, January 2007, that's 10 months before the stock market starts to go down, before it hits its peak. The stock market's still going up here. A month later, this is April 2007. A month later, the subprime index starts to collapse. You see it goes from 100 to 60. We're already in February or March 2007. So that means the people, those experts trading mortgages, already realized there was a calamity about to happen. This was long before anyone else perceived anything happening, long before the stock market moved, long before the government did anything to correct the problem. So just as financial theory says, if you pay attention to the prices, you can learn a lot about the world. So people trading those things, their life depends on fixing the right prices. Probably they know stuff that you don't know. The prices are like their opinion. If the price collapsed, part of the reason it collapsed, maybe margins or something had something to do with it, but part of the reason it collapsed was because they knew something was happening. So for 2.5 years, we've known there's going to be a major catastrophe in the mortgage market. And we're from 100 to 60, and since the 20 is a total calamity. So you know that there's 1.7 million people who are already been thrown out of their houses. Another 3.5 million aren't paying their debts, and are seriously delinquent. Probably all of them will be thrown out of their houses, and another 4 or 5 million after them, like default, have to be thrown out of their houses. So it's a major catastrophe, and the market told us and warned us about it 2.5 years ago, and nobody's done anything about it, basically. And now, as we'll find out. So it's not that I think financial theory, the standard financial theory is wrong. I think it's incredibly useful. I just think it has to be supplemented by a more general theory. So, by the way, just to show you how my hedge fund is done, just so that you don't think that was a failure. Oh dear, where is my returns? There we go, DMZ returns. It's sort of interesting. So we started in the Capital Body went out of business in 1994. There was a tremendous crash in the market, a low of the leverage cycle. The purple is Ellington, that's the hedge fund. You'll see that these are other investment opportunities. The S&P 500 is the green thing. This looks like it was doing great for a while. Emerging markets is the blue one, and high yield is the green one, and then there are a bunch of other things, like treasuries, and this is LIBOR, which is the banks lending to other. So this says if you put your money into any of those strategies, in LIBOR, keep buying, lending your money each one to a bank and see what interest you get, see how much money you accumulate, or putting your money in Ellington and looking at the purple, or putting your dollar into the stock market and see what happens. The S&P 500, see what happens. So you see there's a crash here, you're fired. So we start Ellington, and Ellington does great, and so we have all these years we're doing great, and then there's another crash. What happened? Overnight crash. We lost a huge amount of money. We almost went out of business. Long-term capital, which by the way was won partly by two Nobel Prize winners, Myron Scholes, and Robert Burton, the guys I mentioned, who were the leaders of the financial crisis. They bankrupted their company, and they went out of business. And why did they go out of business? They weren't aware of a leverage cycle in life. Anyway, so the prices collapsed. Then look at all these returns shoot up again, and the world seems to be doing great. The stock market, everybody's doing great. Then there's another crisis in 2007. Everything plummets, altogether this time, and everything's going up again. So, it's hard to see this and live through that. So I remember in 98, for example, when there was a margin call, our lenders called and said, we want more money. You don't believe that the assets are worth as much as they were, so the collateral's not covering the loan anymore. And we said, you can't make a margin call. It's not legal. You promised not to change the margins on us for 6 months. You can't make a margin call. We said, well, blah, blah, blah. We don't really know about that. We're making a margin call. So we called up Warren Buffett. We said, this is terrible. We're making a margin call. We can't do this. We have great bonds. There's nothing wrong with the bonds. They're going to force us to sell all the bonds and pay them the money. And how do they force us to do that? They shouldn't force us to do it. We've got great bonds, a great business, a great company, and they're going to run us out of business. You can't let this happen. Warren Buffett, why don't you buy part of the company, save us, and you'll get rich, and you'll be great. Just say that again. We said, no. They're going to force us to sell all the bonds on Tuesday to meet their margin call. We'll get terrible prices for the bonds. We'll be driven out of business. You know, the great bonds. They're making a margin call. You can't let this happen. Buy part of the business and save us, and you'll get rich. You'll own part of the great company. And he said, hell, I'm going to just show up for the bonds. So we survived I'll tell you more about what we did. We survived that. No thanks to Warren Buffett. And then, although he had a pretty good idea. And then we survived the last crash. We survived all these crashes. But the fact is, things go up. They crash. They go up. They crash. They go up. Could it all be my fault? I decided they can't be all my fault. It's got to be there's something more basic at work. And that's what I'm going to tell you about the leverage cycle. Of course, I realized that my pet theories may not turn out to be right, although I think more and more people are starting to think there's something to it. So I'm not going to spend a huge portion of the course just talking about my pet theories. And I recognize that I have to teach partly what's standard. So the course is going to be divided in the following way. I'm going to talk about the standard over-arbitrage financial theory. And I'm going to talk about it theoretically and mathematically and just how to run a hedge fund. Lots of the things that I'll be teaching are things that we actually confront in the hedge fund. So you'll get standard financial theory course taught from a hedge fund perspective, both theoretically and from a practical point of view. On the other hand, I've lived now through 3 mortgage crises, and so it seems silly for me not to describe how the mortgage market works. You'll find almost none of that in any standard finance textbook. How the mortgage market works, and what's going on, and what happened in the crises, and how we survived, and how other people didn't. I'll talk about the leverage cycle. I'll also spend some time, I think it's quite important, on the mathematical of the invisible hand argument. That's the most important argument in economics. That the free market does good for the economy, and a huge number of people believe it. And part of that argument, and part of the sort of hazy knowledge of that argument, is what drives resistance to a lot of government programs. I know government can only split things up, is what people generally believe, and because of the prejudice, there's some actual argument behind that. Well, I want to go over that argument and show you precisely how it works and how it doesn't work in the financial sphere. And then I want to talk about Social Security as one more program. That's the biggest program in the budget. It's as big as defense, which is much bigger than everything else. It's bigger than every other thing in the budget. So I want to talk about Social Security and should it be privatized, should it be reformed, and why did it go bankrupt? It's also an interesting mathematical problem because Social Security critically involves the belief that things will go on forever. So there's an infinity in it. Each generation, the young are paying for the old. Nobody would do that if they thought they were going to be the last generation paying for the old. When they got old, nobody would help them. So Social Security rests on this road going on forever, which makes it mathematically interesting. And anyway, so I got interested in it from a theoretical point of view. Then I got put on all these National Academy panels on Social Security and privatizing. So I know quite a bit about it, so I might as well talk about something I know about. So let's talk about that. All right, so it's too hard for you to read, so let's do this. So let me just give you a few examples. Oops. I don't know, it's a terrible thing. No. Okay, so let me just give you a few examples here of the kinds of, just so you think this, you realize there's something to the standard theory. There's a lot to it. Let me give you 10 examples very quickly of the standard theory. So these are things that I'm guessing you'll have at least some of the trouble figuring out how to answer now, but by the end of the course, this should be totally obvious to you. So suppose you win the lottery, $40 million, or if it's $100 million the lottery. I always give you the choice. Do you want to take $5 million a year over 20 years, or just get $40 million right now? Which would you do, and how do you think about what to do? Okay, that one. Okay, so now, you get tenure at Yale at the age of 50, say. You're making $150,000 a year, and you think, that's just going to go up with regular inflation, and that's about it. For the next 20 years, you retire, and then plus 20 years of that, then you're going to live another 20 years, and you're going to be making nothing. Okay, so how much of $150,000 is, let's say inflation is 3%, and what you'd like to do is consume inflation corrected the same amount every year, after you retire, before you retire. So how much of $150,000 should you spend this year, and how much should you save? Okay, that's another, you learn very quickly how to do a problem like that. Okay, now President Levin wrote a few months ago, the end of last year, if you remember, he said that the crisis was bad. Yale's going to lever it, but Yale would lost 25% probably of its endowment. That's $5 billion almost of the $23 billion endowment. So how much should he choose to cut his decision? How much should Yale reduce spending every year? The total spending Yale is a little over $2 billion. So he's not put down by $5 billion. What cut should you take to the budget? Should faculty salaries be cut, be frozen? Should, TAs, should you have 3 TAs instead of 4 TAs? What should you do? How big a cut should you take? Now, the same question faced Yale in 1996 or so, I forgot exactly the year, 10 or 12 years ago. The previous president, Al Schmidt, he suddenly noticed that there was deferred maintenance, as he called it. $1 billion to fix the Yale buildings. That's why, incidentally, every year another powers gets fixed. They decided there was deferred maintenance of $1 billion. They have $100 million over every year for 10 years had to be spent. The whole endowment then was $3 billion. And now we have $1 billion deferred maintenance problem. The budget was about $1 billion then. So how much should you cut the Yale budget at that time? So